Get you.
Yeah, I bit my thumb.
I hope you didn't rip it off. That could have been a lot worse. Woo, how's your hat? Alright. That could have been a lot worse. Yeah, when he rolls like that, don't try to hold on to him and roll with him.
I wasn't trying to. I ended up, my leg got caught.
Did you bite it?
And a cigarette for the interview.
Label the camera, label the camera.
Label the camera. No, do this.
I'm gonna hit the poop deck over here. Try not to film too wide. You know what I'm saying?
Refreshing.
What is your preferred beer for Gator wrestling?
What kind of beer do I prefer for Gator wrestling? Afterwards or before? Before I tend to like something a little lighter, on the lighter side, like, I don't know, Bud Light or maybe a Rolling Rock. But then afterwards, you want something hearty. You know, it's gonna fill you up a little bit and make you forget all about this kind of shit. Like Guinness. The refreshingest.
Croissant, le croissant.
What did we do? We turned it into a croissant sandwich. Thank you very much. Okay, so how do we start this?
What's your name?
My name is Patrick Thomas Anthony Morgan, also known as P.T. Morgan.
How do you spell it?
P-A-T-R-I-C-K-T-H-O-M-A-S-A-N and T-H-O-N-Y-M-O-R-G-A-N. There's a hyphen between Patrick and Thomas.
Alright, and how you feeling today?
I feel a lot better than I was feeling a couple days ago.
What happened?
I am one of the alligator wrestling instructors here at Colorado Gators, and during one of my classes I was bitten by an extremely large alligator, about 11.5 feet long and between 600 and 750 pounds.
He just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't he? Come on, how big was he really?
About 11.5 feet long and about 600 pounds, right?
Yeah, about that.
And what happened was...
It's big enough, you don't have to exaggerate. Okay, what happened was?
What happened was during this wrestling class, we hit the end of our class. We started out working with small alligators, and then we work our way up to the big ones. And when it comes to the big ones, the instructors are the only ones that are allowed to actually go out and catch them. Myself and a couple other people that are staff members here as well at Colorado Gators. And
Yeah, you might want to have them like a little more over that way, and then if Jay, you come over here.
Oh.
Is that you want to come towards me? Yeah.
I just want to get those mountains right there in the back.
Oh, okay. Might find a way to move them a little bit.
Okay, there we go.
How's that?
Game on.
Game on.
Okay, what happened?
Well, we got to start it over because of the noise. No?
What happened?
At the end of the class, we go out and we catch a large alligator for the whole little graduation ceremony that we do for the people that join our class. And we went out and I was going to catch Unigator, one of our largest alligators that we have here. Right. And we needed to give him shots. He kind of got a cold earlier on in the winter, and we've been medicating him, trying to take care of him. That way he doesn't get too sick and die on us, because we don't want our big alligators. We don't want any of our alligators to die on us. And I went in the water and I slowly worked my way on top of him so he wouldn't know that I was there. And once I got a hold of him, I put my hands in the back of his jowls and he started thrashing around back and forth trying to get me off. And as he did that, my arm kept hitting a pipe where the water feeds into, and I was trying to get him away from the pipe far enough to where I could get the rope around him. Well, when he noticed that I was trying to get him to go a certain direction, he said, okay, and he rolled on me. And when he rolled, we usually just stand up and let him roll between our legs and just keep our hands on their necks so that way they can keep rolling around us and we can get a hold of them. But what happened was, I was sitting down and I had my feet dug in underneath his front legs, and when he went to roll, I went with him. I was under the water with him, and there was a lot of thrashing around, and at one point I remember in the water, his face was awfully close to mine. I went to push it away. My thumb went into his mouth, into the back part, and clamped down. And he pulled me for a little bit, and when he let go, I was able to get my hand back, and that's where this little bad boy came from. It doesn't look that bad, but right here is all the way down to the bone. One of the teeth was a really dull one, nailed the top of the knuckle. Another one scuffed right here. He pinched it really good, maybe fractured it a bit.
Let's say compared to your other thumb.
The swelling's gone down a bit, but if you look, you can tell that something bad happened.
Well, we have the video. You've seen the video?
I've seen the video, but only once.
Yeah.
And it looked like it hurt. I was doing okay. I was going to finish the class until I noticed the one on the top of my thumb here. And when I noticed that, I leaned my hand back, and when I pulled my thumb all the way back, I could see all the way down to the bone. And I don't know about you, but when I see my own bones, I get a little woozy. So that's when I decided to step out of the class so I wouldn't endanger anybody else. And I let Jay, the manager of the farm, finish the class for me.
A wise decision, I'm sure.
My thumb thinks it was a wise decision.
Yeah.
And really, I'm truly lucky to actually still have my thumb, which is nice because I play the piano. Long story short, don't wrestle alligators. It's not a wise decision.
And don't put your hands in their mouth, right?
Don't purposely put them in their mouth.
Yeah. And bring me the road back. Could have been a lot worse, huh? What could have happened?
I could have lost my thumb. I could have gotten my whole hand stuck in his mouth. And if he would have pulled away hard enough and rolled again, he could have taken my thumb clean off. He could have, if he had a hold of my entire hand, he could have ripped my hand clean off. Even worse. So.
Was your life in danger?
I'm sure for a brief moment.
What about your head?
Huh?
What about your head?
My head I wasn't worried about. My hat though, I was worried about my hat. That was the most important thing. I don't have my hat on now.
No, you don't, but we can see it in the video. Floating on top of your head while you're underwater.
It stayed on though, didn't it?
Yeah. All right. Good job. I ask you. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. When he bit down, alligators, some people know this, not a lot of people, they have between 25,000 to 3,000, or 2,500 to 3,000 pounds per square inch. Cut.
So how strong was this bite?
Alligators on average at full grown length have between 2,500 pounds to 3,000 pounds per square inch of snapping power.
What's that feel like?
It feels like somebody hit you in the hand with a sledgehammer with teeth attached to the end of the sledgehammer. The fact that even if the fact that my bones aren't completely smashed is also pretty amazing. If I didn't lose my thumb, oh well, clearly I didn't lose my thumb. I'm just glad that it's still not completely smashed to powder, because that could have been the case. And as you can see, it's still good. Daddy can still play the piano.
Congratulations. Good job. So then what'd you do?
Well, after that day was over, and I medically took care of myself, I soaked it, made sure that there was no infection and stuff like that, bandaged it up pretty good. And the next day, Me and some friends went skiing up at Wolf Creek, down some black diamonds. Go big or go home.